Hello guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Three Hammers podcast. Wow, has it kicked off since the last one, mate? There's still a hint of when there's a lot of negativity and a lot of pressure building on David Gold, Sullivan, and Lady Brady. Want to start with that, or should we start with the games?
We'll start where you like, mate. Start where you like. What do you want to talk about?
This is the latest thing, so we'll go to Newcastle game first. I did a little quick reaction, little 2-minute video, and we won't talk about it for too long. Really disappointing game. Straight away from the lineup, you could tell it wasn't going to be a great game. This constant, you've saying it nearly all summer, mate, about Fornals playing left wing. 4 goals again. How poor is Cresswell? One credit I will give, mate, and I did give it in my little video. I thought Fredericks was fantastic in that game, but I
wouldn't say he was fantastic. I think he was good. I think he's the best he's been for us in a long, long time. But it was a poor performance. You know, it's weird because obviously we hit the bar twice, but even then, I just think we were just outplayed. I think we set up wrong. The lineup was shocking. We were so negative. You know, you're playing at home to Newcastle. You're playing 4 at the back. Cresswell, an absolute liability. But then you're playing 3 defensive-minded midfielders.
But slow as well. Whatever you say about Declan, like Declan's slow. Souček is slow.
And I saw a lot of people saying it as well. That's the deepest that Bowen has played for us. He's just dropping deeper and deeper and deeper. Last season in the Championship, Bowen's a goal-scoring winger, and he was playing basically as an auxiliary right wing-back. You had Fornals covering pretty much left wing-back. We were essentially playing like a 4-6-1.
Yeah.
It was a 4-5-1, you know. It was
I really don't like Mark Noble in that role. I understand why he did it towards the end of last season. No, he's not. Can't play that role. Do you know what I mean? It's not.
And they're saying as well, like you say, mate, about last season. Again, I see a lot of people on the forums are saying, "Oh, but why would he change it? It worked for us after lockdown. It worked for us at the back end of last season." But the entire aim for the back end of last season was survival.
Yeah, that's it.
Now it's the new season.
Yeah.
Now the aim on the first game of the season can't be survival.
Especially when the next 6 games are what they are, and that Newcastle game was one, no discredit Newcastle. Newcastle looked like a fantastic club this year as well. It's a game we've got to be aiming to go and try and win, at least try and win. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like you say, mate, the lineup was wrong. I think most West Ham fans, as soon as we looked at that lineup, thought, no, it's not going to work. The players on the bench who should have been starting, the likes of Cullen, who had a really good pre-season, and then obviously we'll talk about it, had a really good game last night, not even on the bench.
What else? I did think with Fornals as well, mate. I don't know whether you see it. I thought when he did come inside, he was picking it up in that, seems to have froze a bit there. For me personally, guys, until Paul comes back, when Fornals was picking it up in the midfield, I thought he was really good. He was showing little glimmers. He had good feet. He's playing on that left-hand side. He's there's a weakness there, but he isn't. He's not good enough. He's not quick enough to play there, and that's no discredit to him himself. I'm sure Paul will be back in a minute. I'll just get rid of him for a minute until he does come back. So Chris says, unfortunately, the defence has been ignored for a long time. Here comes Paul. Paul is back now. I don't know what happened there, mate. I was just saying, sorry, Chris, I will come back to that comment. Just bear with me. I was saying, mate, when Fornals was picking the ball up in that sort of central attacking midfield role, looked good. You can tell he's got pass on him and he's got those little changes of play. But and on that left-hand side, he doesn't see the ball enough. And I think sometimes he's harshly rated by the West Ham fans.
I think 100%, mate. He's playing out of position. He's playing really deep. He's covering for Cresswell. And we're not using him how we should be using him, in my opinion. And, you can go on about the board and are not making signings right now and all the rest of it. 100% Gold, Sullivan, Brady are the ones to blame. 100% they're the main problem with this club. But at the same time, Moyes needs to be doing better with the players he's got. He needs to be playing them in their own positions for a start.
Yeah, it's the classic line of all the West Ham channels and all the podcasts I've listened, because I listen to everything. Square pegs round holes again, isn't it? It's that same old, and you should never be starting a season with that dilemma again.
Yeah, has to be said as well. Some of the performances really surprising. I think Rice was shocking.
Oh yeah. No, I think he was tired. Listen, you can't, because if it was anyone else, you wouldn't be making excuses. He played a couple of games for England. Was a little bit tired potentially. Yeah, that wasn't one of his better performances.
No, I think it was one of his worst. Antonio
Souček wasted possession quite a lot as well.
Souček wasn't great. Antonio was poor. Antonio was back to the old Antonio, where he weren't thinking. He was just kicking. Like, how many times did he have a shot where he literally just tried to kick it through the defender? You're not going to score from them positions. Really frustrating.
I think what worries me as well, and I'm sure we'll talk about it again about last night's match as well. He terrifies me at the minute. He looks like, I said it, a lost giraffe. Like doesn't know where he's going. He's really tall, lanky. He seems to have lost any dominance.
In the Newcastle game, the amount of times Ogbonna bailed him out, I have to say, actually, everyone was poor. Ogbonna was really good.
Ogbonna and Fredericks, I thought, played well.
Fredericks played well. Ogbonna, I think, was very good. He bailed Diop out so many times. And I was watching it and starting to think, oh man, I really liked Diop. I started thinking, was I wrong? Is he really crap?
Yeah.
But I think he had a better game last night. And do you know what the difference was? And a lot of people have said this. Diop is a left-sided centre-back. And he plays better when he's with Balbuena, because Balbuena plays on the right. But obviously, because Ogbonna's left-footed, when he's playing next to Ogbonna, he's playing on the wrong side, and it sort of throws him off. I don't know. Maybe that's just nonsense, but there could be something to that. I don't know. And then what's the answer? Because you can't drop Ogbonna at the moment. So
so coming out of the Newcastle game, was sitting there just thinking we need players. And I know me and you were talking, mate, about the left side again. Just to repeat that, he had a left-sided winger in Grady, and we didn't use him. And it puts a huge pressure into the next game, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But yeah, very disappointing result, disappointing performance. That looked like a team that just was like giving up. It's that sort of level of not a fresh, it's a new season, let's get excited, let's run 100 mile an hour.
No, because it was a negative lineup. It was a negative team. It was a negative lineup. All of our creative players were on the bench. So, and that's going to filter through, the players ain't stupid. The players are going to look at that. The players are going to look at the lineup, and they're probably sitting there. I know, I haven't played football at any kind of level, but even just playing five-a-side, playing on Sunday, whatever, that filters through. If you look around and you look at your teammates and you think, it's going to be backs to the wall again, it just puts a downer on it straight away. With all the creative players on the bench, you want to be playing with your creative players, the players that are going to go out and score goals. Yeah, and it was just a poor setup, poor game.
Okay, before we go on to the Charlton game, let's jump in the chat. Chris says, unfortunately, the defence has been ignored for so long. Our front players know they have to drop back as what we've got at the back from Kobe. Yeah, it's a really good point, mate. Whatever you say about Anderson, maybe his first season, North put on a defensive shift that first. He was really poor last season, but I never understand why Moyes sees funnels. That makes him think funnels come play out wide. It's just typical. It's just square pegs and round holes. Are we going to get any new defenders instead of chasing a £50 billion one we can't afford? I noticed we were linked with a Man City youth defender. I can't remember what his name was.
Kolasinac as well.
Yeah.
Arsenal left back, which would be a fantastic signing, I think. Kolasinac.
Anything's better than Cresswell at the minute.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to buy anyone, mate. I don't think we are going to buy anybody. I know.
We desperately need a striker as well.
I know. I think the bids that are being thrown out there, they know that it's not enough. To
It's
get
we tried.
Tarkowski.
It's we tried.
Yeah, exactly. They've got no intention of paying that kind of money for a defender. And I know I see comments there already about the potential takeover. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But I think that might have something to do with it. But I don't think we will sign. I don't think we'll pay money for anybody this window.
I agree, mate. I got maybe some loans or free transfers, but I can't see big money changing hands. Chris says, spot on, Paul. We are majorly short all over the pitch, but Moyes is still not using what we've got properly. Haller has to start on Saturday. Is it Saturday? Yes. 7 o'clock kickoff Saturday, isn't it? Looked so lively last night with decent support. We're going to go into that game in a minute. We'll come back to that in a minute. And I'm going to leave the American one for the minute. Rubber fingers. Apparently, there is 30 million available for free players. You're not going to get much for 30 million. And I'm not questioning you there, Marcus, at all. Where's the money come from, and what free players are we going for? You're not going to get much for 30 million, mate.
The money's not there. The money's not there. I think that figure has come from the apparent bid that we made for Tarkowski. And they only made that bid because they knew that it was never going to be accepted. I don't think there's 30 million there at all. If there was 30 million pound available, then they wouldn't have needed to sell Grady to pay off instalments on Haller. Do you know what I mean? The money's not there. The money is not there.
Okay, moving on to last night's game, mate.
What a difference.
One of the rare positives we can talk about tonight.
Yeah, thankfully. And what a difference. And I said straight away, I said to you last night, mate, I had no intention of watching the game last night.
I didn't fancy it, mate. I did not fancy watching it last night.
I had no intention. I wasn't going to watch it, especially I was paying £10 to probably watch us get beat by Charlton. I just had no interest. And then when the team came out, I actually looked at it and thought, this is a better team than our first team. It's a more exciting team. You look at that team. I looked at that team last night and I thought, do you know what? This is actually a team I want to watch. And I did. I paid my £10 and I watched the game. You look at that and all of a sudden you've got the likes of Felipe Anderson, Lanzini, Yarmolenko, Haller, Cullen, Masuaku, Johnson, all in the starting lineup. These are the players that I want to watch. These are the players that I want to see.
No, we was playing Charlton, and we can't we can't get, we're going to get Champions League now, or whatever. But, you've got, I text you, mate, and I said, there's a sort of game, Anderson and Lanzini, if their heads are not there, which, definitely someone like Anderson's head weren't there last season, and Lanzini looked a little bit shot last season. I was really impressed with their application. It's very easy to play a Charlton team and just go, we can go through the motions. Yeah.
How many times have we seen it?
Yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah. I thought Lanzini was excellent last night, and I have been a critic of him last season. Did some lovely stuff in the box, sharing the ball and trading the ball with Haller, Anderson. I thought Yarmolenko was excellent as well. I thought Yarmolenko was best player on the pitch for me. And Cullen was excellent as well. Swaku did some lovely runs. Johnson was good. Yeah,
I couldn't pick out a poor performance, mate. And I know, yes, it's Charlton League One side, but I couldn't pick out a poor performance. We were playing on the front foot. We were playing lovely attacking football. We were passing it. We were moving around. Like I say, Lanzini, like you say, mate, I think Lanzini was excellent last night. It was his best game for a long time, and it made me think, maybe he can get that sharpness back. As you say, mate, Yarmolenko was brilliant, although he kept getting kicked. I was a little bit worried he was going to get injured.
I thought, this geezer's made of glass. At one point, I was like, he's so good, but any time he can break down.
Yeah, Haller, fantastic. Again, you can see the comments. Get players up around him. That's what happens.
He comes alive. Alive.
Snodgrass was good. At the start of the game, I weren't really sure where Snodgrass was supposed to be playing, but the assist for Haller was fantastic. We know he's got that in his locker. And I think, I think Bowen could be a younger version of Snodgrass. So that's great to see. But that's where you need the likes of Bowen to be playing. You need him up and around there, getting them balls into Haller, not tracking back and covering. Johnson, I thought Johnson was all right. I think he gave the ball away quite a lot. But again, he'll grow into that, that side of his game will come on.
I think it's something, and he definitely needs to work on, is crossing the ball. You know, he was making the runs, and you know, Yarmolenko was finding him all the time. I was in the end. I was making a point of thinking, actually, there's about 5 times you've tried to put the ball in, it either been blocked by the first man, or it's just gone right over. You know, like right.
Although he did well, the one where he did the little chop back on the line, and that was lovely. And he pulled it, beat the defender, and he pulled it across. And Haller should have scored. I think Haller saw a challenge coming in and bottled it a little bit, and he scuffed it wide.
Shame he didn't get the hat trick last night. Actually,
yeah, I know. I thought it was coming, but just such a all-round good performance. And like I say, Anderson, I said to you earlier, you know, people slag off Felipe Anderson for being lazy, but if you watch his goal last night, he started that move on the halfway line, on the wide left, on the wing, played a lovely ball to Lanzini. Lanzini was fantastic, held the ball up, good little feet, good skill. And when he cut it back, it was Felipe Anderson who had made that run from the left wing on the halfway line to the centre of the box to tap it in. You know, the effort is there. The effort is there. And when, like you say, mate, when they look interested, we need to find a way to get these players into the team. They need to be starting.
Yeah,
they need
get
to
the best out of them. Yeah, and try and get the best out of them. Anything else on that game? Obviously, if Leeds and Hull play tonight, whoever wins that game, we will be playing them at the London Stadium next week. I didn't realise it was that quick. Don't fancy Leeds. Not the way they played against Liverpool.
No.
Whether they'll put that team out in a cup, I don't know. But
see, that's the thing, mate. I mean, if we play the lineup that we played last night, maybe squeeze a Declan Rice in there, maybe squeeze a Souček in there, maybe put Bowen in for Snodgrass. Then I think if we play that kind of attacking team, then we'll go toe-to-toe with Leeds, and it could be a game like the Leeds-Liverpool game. If we play the team that played against Newcastle, they'll batter us. If we play the team that played against Newcastle, they'll absolutely batter us.
Slow. It's too slow. That's the thing, isn't it? It's such a shame. You know, with Yarmolenko, last thing on this game, actually, with Yarmolenko, I tell you what, it shows. I tell you what, if that man wouldn't have had the injuries he would have had, would be nowhere near West Ham. Wouldn't. And I'm not me just blowing smoke because of a good performance yesterday. You can tell that this man was top player. Like he was at that Borussia Dortmund day. That you hear the commentator say about his Ukraine stats as well.
Yeah,
something like 38 goals in 73 games. It's unreal. Do you know what I mean?
He scored in the international break just gone, didn't he?
Yeah.
And the thing is that the frustrating thing is, at an international level, he plays 90 minutes regularly. But I think, you know, Premier League is a much faster. And I say it seems like every opportunity he was getting kicked last night. You know, players know if they sort of go into him, he don't really fancy it. But yeah, like you say, mate, what a player! What a player!
He is. He's a top player. There was a reason, you know, why Man United were linked with him a few years ago. I'm going to jump in the comments before we go on to Arsenal. Oh, I've read that one. Do apologise. Moyes has to find a way to get Yarmolenko and Bowen in the side and keep them close to Haller. 100%, Chris, mate. 100%. Then what with that though, mate? Where does Antonio fit in there?
Well, there is a comment there about would you play Antonio on the left? For me, it's really difficult. I think Bowen, you have to play Bowen. I don't know if Yarmolenko can play 90 minutes in the Premier League. I don't know if he can. So I would probably play
Antonio and Bowen. And then if Antonio starts getting tired, bring Yarmolenko on, or vice versa. Do you know what I mean? That's probably the way that I would go. It's really hard, isn't it? Because we're sitting here saying about.
And then what about even then? Yeah, like you say, mate. Where does Felipe Anderson play?
Then who are you playing behind? You know, if you're playing like I don't know, narrow diamond, for example. I don't know. Are you putting Fornals there, or are you putting Lanzini there?
Do you put Fornals there? Do you put Lanzini there? Do you play Anderson
Cullen's
there?
give himself his shot to go in there as well.
I don't think Cullen's a number 10. For me, Cullen
maybe a Souček. Maybe he's the Souček.
Yeah. I think Cullen comes in to, you know, if Rice or Souček needs a break or if they get injured, that's for me when Cullen comes in. I don't see Cullen as a number 10.
Yeah.
But yes, that's the thing, mate. Like it's a joke. We're sitting here now, And we're talking about, it's a struggle to think, how do we fit all these players in? That shows that we've got a good, well, at least a good attacking squad. And then Moyes starts so defensively.
And the slow players, mate.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Agent says shows what Haller can do when the right players are around him. Because the Snod father play. Listen, I always like Snoddy when he plays. One thing you're guaranteed when Robert Snodgrass plays is effort and technique. Man has got the best technique at the club.
He's a brilliant footballer, but he's like, what, 33 years old?
Yeah.
So, that's what I'm saying. Like, I love Snodgrass as well.
Great player for the cup.
Yeah. Play him in the cup, but he's not a player that you want to be starting every week. Like I say, for me, Bowen is a younger Snodgrass. So,
a good question, this one. The team last night, a Prem quality though.
No, I think with changes. With a couple of changes. Like I say,
bring Bex in, bring Souček in, Bonner.
Yeah.
And obviously Fabianski.
The attackers are there. Like you say, like you say, against Prem quality, bring in Rice for Cullen. Bring in Bowen for Snodgrass. There's little changes there, but I think, like you say, bring in Ogbonna for Balbuena or Diop. It wouldn't take a much. It's just a couple of changes, not wholesale changes. Not.
Is there anyone who? So we will go into the Arsenal game in a minute. Is there anyone from last night who was given David Moyes a problem?
Haller has to start. He has to start. If Haller and for me Masuaku as well. If Haller doesn't start, I give up. If
I think Masuaku would be such a good left wing. Yeah, I do think he's going to go free at the back if he gets
the thing defender. Is, Masuaku can't defend, but neither can Cresswell.
No, I know.
At least Masuaku can get forward.
Yeah, and put a good ball in.
Yeah, for me, Masuaku has to start over Cresswell, and Haller has to start. Whether you then, for me, I would then move Antonio onto the wing. I wouldn't drop him completely, but those two for me have to start.
Agreement. I agree. Interesting to see how many of our players play so much better when we play positive football. Listen, any sport, you want to win and play, attractive football, attractive snooker, be a flashy boxer or whatever. You're there to entertain at the end of the day. It's meant to be your hobby. They're just fortunate enough that the hobby, their job.
It's mindset as well, isn't it? If you've got a negative survival first manager, like I say, it's mindset. Players go, and you could see against Newcastle when the players came out from half time. I don't know what Moyes said to them. He was probably like, right, lads, that's it. Let's keep it tight. They walked out with their heads down. Footballers don't want to hear that. Footballers don't want to try and survive.
The problem with it is, well, like Jose does it quite a lot now. When you set up to not lose, what do you do when you start losing? Like you're 11 set up to defend. It's not an attacking. So how do you get back? So all of a sudden your game plan has to change more or less instantly as soon as you go 1-0 down. You haven't got the 11 there at the time on the pitch to change it. That's a big problem. Would you put Antonio back on the wing? Yeah, sort of discussed that, Gary, but good question. Cullen has to be in the squad for now. Yeah, not the 11. 100% deserves his place. On the subs bench. Lanzini's grown in confidence. Great old at play. I hope so, guys. Listen, I would love nothing more to see Manuel Lanzini hit the heights that he was, a few years ago. Fingers crossed. Sufyan says, evening, lads. Evening, Sufyan. And drops a comment as well. I don't think we will win against Leeds, but it will be a cup tie. Game under the floodlights. Yeah, you never know. We might win the next 6 games in the Premier League as well. Okay. Right, we're going to talk about that later. So I'm not going to talk about that yet because that might go on for a little while. Yarmolenko is the best right winger we have, in my opinion. Yeah, I've always been a fan of him. A lot of people slag him off. I think it's unfairly as well, purely because, he has some bad injuries. Whenever he plays, I don't know what 80% of the time he plays, he's fantastic, and he's always good for a bloody goal. Ain't many players in the West Ham team that are good for a goal. I thought he used to play really well with Ronnie as well, Yarmolenko. I thought they had a really good sort of partnership, them two. Haller does not fit into Moyes' system, if you ask me. If Moyes had the opportunity, he'd probably sell him. He probably would. Yeah. I don't think he should. It's not that he's a bad player. It's system.
Moyes is a bad manager.
Yeah.
Moyes is a bad manager. He's a... Yeah. I don't want to go into it.
No, I don't. Yeah. Does Haller sit on the bench again unless we play 2 up front against Arsenal? He has to start for me. Has to start, and we will go into the Arsenal game as soon as I've wrapped up these last few comments here. Calasoe on Sky Sports News has said West Ham are willing to swap Diop and Haller with Moussa Dembele from Lyon. Not seen that one.
That's Dembele, who's at Celtic, isn't it?
Yeah, the striker. Yeah,
brilliant player. It's I don't know about the value in that though. Swapping Diop and Haller for him.
Yeah, good player. Are we slow through the middle because of Mark? And yes, we all love. Listen, Mark says it himself. Listen, I'm a big critic of Mark, and I have been for a long time. No, he's not. There's a place for him, as and when. He shouldn't be starting every week. He says that himself. It's time to move on, and I do think he will retire at the end of this season. And I think he'll have a lot to say as well when he does retire. He pace on a counter-attack against Arsenal, so I would have Gwen, Lanzini, Antonio, and Haller up front. Right, let's go into the Arsenal game. So Arsenal, mate, they beat Fulham 3-0 the weekend. Looked fantastic as well. Aubameyang's just, unbelievable finisher. Willian looked good. Willian,
I thought he looked really good, actually. I thought he looked really good.
I think he provided 2 assists, didn't he? Last season, I'm just getting it up here. I think we lose both games, I believe. We lost 1-0 at Egbrand and 3-1 at London Stadium. And at the time, mate, I remember us doing a podcast saying that's the worst Arsenal team we've ever seen. They're not playing that Arsenal Saturday. This looks like an Arsenal team, where Arteta's starting to get his flaws on it now. They're starting to put a fantastic defender as well, Gabriel, who also scored weekend on his debut. I'm scared for this one. This is not an Arsenal. Usually, last few years, we play Arsenal and I'm like, I fancy this. No, not this time. Not this time.
No, I agree, mate. I agree. I don't think we're going to get anything from it. I think it's going to be very tough. All I want to see, and this next run of games is a shocking run of games. I just want to see us go for it. I want to see us play on the front foot. I want to see us use our attacking players.
Against Liverpool last year. Yeah. 3-2, wasn't it? When Fernal scored. Sort of level, where we're going for it. We're trying to score goals. And if we do lose that Liverpool game, we come out of our head held high.
That's it. There's no expectation really for this run now. If the problem is Moyes, he will. He's going to set up to try and play for a draw, and it won't work. He's going to do that, and it's breaking me down. How many,
though, mate? Here's a question for you: how many, though, of the next 6 games can he afford to lose?
I mean,
so at some point, say we lose next 2, and then you're looking at that 4th game. Would you blame him for going negative? Not that I don't want to see us play negative, but would you blame him? Because then it's like, okay, West Ham's lost 5 in a row.
If he'd have gone out attacking for those 2 games or 3 games, and we got battered, then no, I wouldn't blame him. But he won't do that. He won't do that. If he went out on the front foot and then as fans we could look at it and go, all right, okay, it's not working. We need to rein it in a bit. Fair enough. But that's not what's going to happen. He's going to come out, Mr. Safety first. He's going to play for a draw. I don't know. All I want to see, I just want to see us come out and go for it. I want to see some of the players that played last night play with that same energy and the same spirit.
Yeah,
I want to see that.
A little bit of speed, some snappy passing. Like I say, put Haller in now. Definitely Haller has to start for me. About the right back situation, because like I say, Fredericks did have a good game against Newcastle. Johnson played well last night.
Yeah.
Johnson against Aubameyang.
No, I think I would still
against Aubameyang.
Yeah, I would play Fredericks just for the pace, purely for just for that pace.
I thought he did really, really well against St. Maxim.
He did, yeah.
I thought he did excellent. And listen, I've slated him something rotten, for the last sort of 10, 15 games. Yeah, got to say, I thought he was brilliant.
No, I agree. I really, really like Ben Johnson, and I want to see him come through. But I think it's a game for Fredericks, like you say, purely because of the pace. And I like Ben Johnson a lot, but he's got to work on his passing, his distribution. Fredericks ain't that much better, if I'm being honest. No. But just for the pace, yeah, I think Fredericks should start.
Yeah. Okay, good question here. Oh, little prediction actually first, mate. Any predictions on that game? I think it's going to be an absolute massacre, to be honest with you. 3-0.
If we played a team that played against Newcastle and we play defensively, yeah, 3-4-0, I think we'll get destroyed. If we give it a go, could be anything. You could see a 2-2, a 3-2, could be anything. Do you know what I mean? That's what I want to see. I just want to see us go for it.
I don't fancy Willian against any of them, to be honest, Masuaku or Cresswell.
At least, I like I say, neither of them can defend, but at least Masuaku
does something. Yeah,
at least he does something. At least he's got a bit of pace. At least Masuaku doesn't mind getting stuck in a little bit either. Do you know what I mean?
Quickly as well, mate. What did you make? It's wrong that we didn't mention it actually. What did you make of the right back that came on against Charlton? Young boy. Yeah. I thought he did all right actually.
Yeah, I thought he did all right as well.
He made a good run, didn't he? A good run right at the end.
Yeah. It's hard to judge because the game was gone. But great to see. That's what you want to see. You want to see those youngsters coming in.
Connor Coventry coming on as well. I have to mention that as well. I do apologise that I'm backtracking a bit there, but I think he was right to mention, young players coming through. Apart from Antonio, is there anybody else in the squad you'd try up as an attacker? Yarmolenko, I'd play Yarmolenko up top. I would if we was desperate. Haller's injured, Antonio's injured. I think I would play Yarmolenko up front. He's got a very Natovic sort of body language, the way he holds up the ball, and the way he's got that beautiful left foot. Yeah, if there was anyone, it would be him. What about you, mate? Anyone else?
I'll probably try Bowen as well, just because he's got a great goal scoring record. The boy can score goals. But no, I agree. Yarmolenko, I think he's played up front before, and he's probably one-on-one. He's probably got the best finish, the best technique at the club. But I want to see Haller play up front,
Oh, yeah, obviously, yeah. Oh, sorry. Skip the question there. How many of our players would make the Arsenal team? Rice definitely would. I think Rice would add a lot to their team, actually, in that central defensive midfielder role.
And I was going to say Anderson would, like a peak Anderson, but then
they were looking at him, weren't they? They were looking at Anderson, weren't they?
Yeah.
I think Bonner potentially. I think Bonner's a better defender than David Luiz at least.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
I don't know. Would they get the best out of someone like Haller? Haller over Lacazette? Lacazette over Haller?
That'd be it. I'll tell you what, Haller with sort of Aubameyang and Willian running around him would be something to see.
He scored a lot of goals then.
Yeah.
A lot of goals. Irish Tommy says, we lose to Arsenal. It matters how we lose. Good point.
100%.
Very good point, mate. If we have to go and play well or be encouraging, we stink the place out, it'll be very depressing. That is a very good point, mate.
Yeah.
Johnson on the left. Yeah, and if you look at it, actually, that Irish Tommy's point there, it was that Liverpool game that we lost 3-2 that sort of sparked it. Then we beat Chelsea that next game because it was positive performance. It was very unlucky to lose that game as well. We have to apply the high press against Arsenal. We also need Antonio to give them something to think about. Otherwise, it will be a long 90 minutes. Aneki was the right back. Yarmolenko was always played up front for Ukraine. He knows the position. I think he's injured, Ian. I think front four cause problems Saturday.
Depends what front four we play, doesn't it?
Oh, well, so I did miss a comment there. Johnson on the left. What do you make of that?
There's definitely a shout for it.
Mm.
There's definitely a shout for it. He's got to be better than Cresswell.
Yeah.
Defensively, he's obviously better than Masuaku and Cresswell. But I don't. The worry is then he ends up becoming a left back, and I don't really like seeing a right foot. I know people say he's 2-footed, but I think he should be coming through as a right back, and I wouldn't really want to sort of jeopardize that. But there's 100% there's a shout for it. Maybe in games where we do need to be a bit more compact and we need to be a bit more defensive. But then who'd you play on the right back? Then you like Fredericks
because they're both as weak as each other. Fredericks looked good the other day, but whatever happens, you've got to have a weak side. Okay, so that's enough for the Arsenal game, guys. That game kicks off at 7:00 at the London Stadium. I can't remember if it's home or away now.
Doesn't really matter anymore, does it?
But sure it'll be a good game, hopefully, and hopefully, like you say, we get a nice positive performance. If anything, it's time to move on, mate. Here we go. Have we heard the rumours of the American takeover? Okay, right. First thing I'm going to start with, mate, before we actually do go on to that fully, I think it's worth discussing how much the pressure has built now and some context into it as well. Trevor Sinclair tweet was massive. The Mark Noble one was massive. I think the Trevor Sinclair tweet and the way anyone who's been watching TalkSport, Trevor Sinclair was going back at Jim White and Simon Jordan. I'm not sure whether you know the full stuff as well, mate, about Jim White receiving a call from David Sullivan. Yeah. And did you know that extra bit? During the show, David Sullivan called Simon Jordan because, speculative, it wasn't going the way that he thought it was going to go, in terms of the rhetoric and the way, let's defend him. He's obviously called Simon Jordan, sort of try and make it go the other way again. So
I don't think that's going to work. He can't stand him.
No.
Absolutely. The pressure is built up massively. I see a comment there from Gary. They're so lucky we ain't in there. 100%. If the fans were in the stadium at the minute,
they've gone already. I think they would. I think that's what it is, mate. I think they know we ain't staying away forever. We could be back in there after Christmas or October. They're saying there could be at least 3,000-4,000 in there. I think they're getting worried. I really do. I think pressure has done.
I think that there's lots of things around it. I think we're past the point of no return. There's no going back now. There's never going to be a time now where West Ham fans say, "No, let's give him a chance." It's gone. There's no turning back. It's the tipping point's way behind us now, and it's a matter of time. It is, and I think I said this. I think it was last week. I said this. About them struggling financially, and if their other businesses, a lot of their money is tied up in commercial property, which is really struggling. And if they need money at the moment, the best way they're going to get it and the quickest way they're going to get it is by selling West Ham. And I think that's come around. I really do think they're struggling for money at the minute. Like we were talking about, the money for transfers ain't there. The money ain't there. The money is not there. We can't even afford to pay installments on our current players, let alone buy new ones. They are really struggling. And I think when these takeover rumours come about, I'm always a bit skeptical, or even now, I'll believe it when I see it. But to me, the way that things are going, the circumstances around it, I think there's meat on this one. I really do. I think there's weight to it. And I really do think that this is the time. I really do. I think this is the time. And I think they'll go. I really do. I think they'll go.
Yeah, so let's put some meat on it now. So obviously the guy called Secret Agent whether how much you believe him or whatever. Who knows? This guy's only been about for a little while. He came out with he thinks West Ham's going to be taken over a few weeks ago. And then stuff started leaking in the press about £350 million being rejected, and then another it's coming very, very soon.
Well, there was two already. So they apparently the 350 million bid came in was it August? And was rejected, and then they bid again 400 million, which was also rejected, and now they're saying they're preparing a third bid. I would assume it's probably going to be, in my opinion, I think if they bid 500 million, see you later. They're gone.
I think 450. I think 450 will get.
That seems to be what the next bid will probably be
around that area. Yeah, 500 will definitely that will I think. Secret agent also put out. You sent it. I can't remember what the bloody hell it said there. Something about Chinese, wasn't it? Let me get it.
So yeah, he basically said that now it's out there. There you go. Now that it's out there, that they're prepared to sell. More interest is coming in from outside now that it seems that they are prepared to let the club go. And I really do. I like I say, I'm always skeptical about this kind of thing. I believe it when it happens. I believe it when I see it.
It's definitely gathering some pace, yeah.
Yeah, and it feels different this time. It feels different. And like I say, I think the situation around it, the circumstances around it, the fact that they know there's no coming back with the fans, the fact that they're desperate for money.
Yeah, I think they're willing to take that 20% hit on the chin.
Yeah, I think.
I hope so. I really hope so. I really, really hope so.
And even then, mate, I was reading today that even though they have to pay 20%, but they only have to pay 20% on anything over I think it's 300 million. So it don't work out much, on the grand scheme of things.
Not to, if someone buys it for 350 million, you've only got to give up what is that, $1 million in it, 20%,
well,
yeah.
20% on 50 million, so 10 million, isn't it?
Yeah, not a lot of money to them. You know what I mean? I really hope this is true. I really, really do. And this is not just me going on the secret agent. Obviously he's sparked the excitement. It's the fact that the papers are starting to get hold of it now. The TalkSport thing, with him calling Jim White a couple of times. They're rattled. They're massively rattled, and I'm using Gonzo's words there, but they are rattled. And I think if it's not for Christmas, it will be before the end of the season. Let's just hope we survive. It is the end of the season, but it's before Christmas. Start getting a little bit excited that maybe this new ownership could go big in the January. If we could keep Rice to the January, you go big. You start. I don't know. I don't want to get too excited because, yeah.
No. And I'm very much not getting excited about it. It's as I said, it's one of them things where, again, I'll believe it when it happens. I'll believe it when I see it, but it really feels like there's something behind it this time.
Yeah,
it really does.
Even if we do get taken over, but we can't allow ourselves to believe that it's going to be an influx of massive money. This is not people that we're going to take over Newcastle that all counts we're going to go and try and get Mbappe.
No. But in the long term, it's probably better. The talk. I have to say, I know today there's obviously the thing about the Chinese guys who I'll be honest, I haven't really looked into. I don't really know anything about. But the American guys that are apparently the ones that are bidding for us, actively bidding for us, they're like private equity firms and stuff, and they're all about the infrastructure.
Yeah,
and making the club better. So if
I was going to ask you that question, mate. Actually, so I know you're butt in there, mate, but I was going to ask you that. I would take a couple of years of decent transfers. Let's say decent, just squad improving transfers. If I could see that there was a beautiful new training ground, scouting system, say a whole revamp of the infrastructure as a 5-year plan.
And I think and I think that's what, if we get this American group, that's what they will do. It'll be like, it won't be a Man City model. It'll be a Liverpool model. It will take time, but it will be better for the club in the long run. far better for the club in the long run.
I can take that.
100%. Yeah,
100%.
100%.
I can take that. I was talking to a Liverpool fan actually today. I work with a massive Liverpool fan, and he said, when they first come in, Klopp was there 5 years. It's a project. I'm not saying we're going to hit anywhere near the heights of Liverpool. We need to be able to be that classic word, competitive. What's the point of turning up if you're competing 17th every year? I want to be competing for top 10, and that's where TalkSport twist it for me. Darren Goff said it on there, and I like Darren Goff, but he came out and said, do West Ham fans want? There's never been a big club. There's never been a good club. It's not the point. We're allowed to have ambition, dreams. I'm not saying I want to be Champions League. I want to be competitive top 8 team. Okay, yeah. So, comments, get your questions in, guys. We're going to go for a little bit longer. Which was more ridiculous? Sullivan saying the Bulldog being hung out to dry, or Jim White saying a minority of fans? Yeah, I did laugh at that one. Ian Moose always uses that one as well. Minority of fans. I'll tell you what, it's certainly not a minority of fans. And if that stadium was open, it would be 60,000 fans. The low season get renewed, so it's hurting them. Financially, it's pretty irrelevant, but will hurt their pride. Yeah, and there's a lot of people, mate, that are not renewing it. It seems quite universal to me. Problem is Arsenal is with Arsenal is that Moyes will sit deep and ever, and at some point the defence will switch off. Yep. That will want their 150. Oh yes,
yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So all their loans that exactly. If they sell the club, whatever they sell it for, if they obviously they've knocked back 400 million, and it sounds like these guys are going to come in again. So you'd have to think that they're going to be walking away with at least 450 million sale price. Plus their loans, plus. Like they're gonna clean up. Don't get it twisted. They're whatever they sell us for now, they'll be doing well out of it.
As a season ticket, new date been pushed back yet? It was pushed back, wasn't it? I don't know if it's been pushed back again. Yeah, they're definitely under pressure. The 2023 clause that is currently keeping them there is not a problem because the bid will include can be simply paid off by paying 8 million to a remedy wire breach.
I really know what you're saying, mate.
Yeah, so mate, yeah, I couldn't catch it properly there. Spot on, Luke, about Yarmolenko. He's got the Arnie swagger. You need it if you're going to be a great player. We would only have to keep Rice long enough for new owners to take control. I'm sure they'll talk to Rice about their ambition. I agree. There's no guarantee he'll stay. I do think he wants to be part of Chelsea at some point. Definitely if a new owner came in with a project and you could actually see some fruition of it, not just broken promises and we've tried and all this crap. Yeah, you've got a chance to do something there, no, mate? Yeah. Players making a bid want to build a new stadium in Town room. But yeah, I think that is a room at that bit. That's a bit smoke and fire, that one.
Well, first of all, where are they going to build a stadium in Canning Town? There ain't no space in Canning Town.
There's bloody nowhere now, yeah.
There's nowhere to build a stadium in Canning Town. But I think something that I read, and I thought, there might be something to that. Them coming out and saying, if we bought the club, we'd want to build a new stadium and start again. That could be their way of basically saying publicly, your London stadium is not an asset. That doesn't add any value to the club.
That's a good point. Yeah.
It's kind of a negotiating tactic. They're just saying, listen, that stadium isn't worth anything.
Yeah, don't think we're going to pay. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, don't think we're going to pay over just because of that stadium because it's not. There's no value to it. So that could be something in that.
When they get their seat forever as part of the deal, we need to give them so much crap and we'll make it uncomfortable. I don't think they'll want to go, mate, to be honest with you.
You say that. Terry Brown's over there every week. Terry Brown's got a seat on the ball for life, hasn't he? Yeah. And everyone's forgot about him. So
do you make of the comment that secret agent said about West Ham legend helping to negotiate a ball and we'll take a ball on the seat?
Tony Cottee in it. Yeah, he was trying to get a consortium together before, wasn't he? So yeah, it's gonna be Tony Cottee, and I'm guessing he's just trying to get involved again. And definitely, Tony Cottee is West Ham through and through. Absolutely loves the club.
Yeah, Plasto.
Absolutely loves the club. Proper West Ham TC. And 100%. Obviously, he ain't got any money. He's not going to be involved in that way.
No.
But as someone to be involved, who knows the club and who knows the fans and who knows what we're all about, that can't be a bad thing. It can only be a good thing.
Yeah. All that carpet stays. If the board will finally agree, they haven't got a clue about running a football club. That's one of the only things that may keep them now. That stubbornness. Face of the fans, a great move, definitely. Right, so last thing, mate, I was asked this question. We like doing the little funny bits at the end. I was asked what my top 5 movies are on all Gear No Idea the weekend, and I thought we could end with something like that, have a little discussion.
All right. Top 5 movies of all time. Well,
what stuff are you watching on Netflix and stuff at the minute? That was the discussion that went on somehow on All Gear No Idea the other day.
My top 5 movies of all time. Well, I can tell you. I
had no order. It was the thing. I had no order.
Yeah, order's difficult. Goodfellas is probably my number 1. Goodfellas. Rocky, the original Rocky, is definitely in there. The first Matrix film is in there. Probably one that's not going to be as popular. Romeo and Juliet, the Leonardo DiCaprio one. I love that film. Love that film. They're definitely 4. And then for the 5th spot, it's probably Ghostbusters. Yeah, because
when I was asked for top 5, I said I can only give you a list of 10 in no particular order. I was dropping Back to the Future in there. Obviously, Ghostbusters. Jurassic Park for me has to go in there as well because of how I felt as a kid watching it. It's just such a good conversation. Like Wall Street has to go in there for me as well. So many, so Goodfellas was in mine as well. But yeah, it's just interesting conversation. What did you make of the tweet from the friend of Pellegrini that said he hated working with GSB? I did see that, and said he's relieved that he doesn't have to work for them anymore. And he got his first win for Real Betis the other day as well.
Can't say I'm surprised. I don't think anyone likes working under GSB. I don't think anyone's ever come out and said, they were brilliant to work for.
Yeah, even Big Sam. Not sure there's any manager that has enjoyed it. Agree. Thanks, Sebastian. Nice guys. Can I ask what's the scariest film you guys have seen? Oh, we're going to really expose ourselves here. Don't watch scary films.
No, I don't like scary films, mate. I don't like scary films.
I don't play scary computer games. They terrify me.
What is one though? I'm trying to think of like. Do you know it? It weren't not a film, but did you see that Haunting in a Hill House on Netflix?
No.
Mate, it was brilliant. Really, really good program. Brilliant program. But I started watching it. Me and the wife sat down and watched it, and she loves scary films and stuff. And like the first 30 seconds of the first episode, I was watching. I was like that. No.
I can't do it. I remember. I think I was about 10 or something like that. I'd been up late and on Channel 5, and I think it was Poltergeist was on. Like when you're 10 years old and you just see this purple floating thing. Like,
mate, that's the thing. Like Poltergeist now, like Poltergeist considered like a kids' film now.
Yeah. No, but at 10 years old, seeing that, terrified me. Absolutely terrified me. And I can't. I just don't watch scary films. My wife likes them as well, but she's like, "Oh, should we watch blah blah?" Hey, you're right. Right, you watch that your own time. or you go, or I try and blag it and go like, I don't fancy it.
Do you know what though? I do like. I see. So they're like Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't like. I do like.
Oh, I like gory.
I like slasher films. So see, like Nightmare on Elm Street and like Friday the 13th, Halloween. I like those kind of films.
I can watch them. Yeah, I can watch.
Slashers. Yeah. Like slasher films, I like, but like proper like scary films. No.
I get scared of anything though. I'd probably get scared of like that Invisible Man film. I tell you what, and this is one really going to expose me. Just one more thing on this. I got scared. Scary Movie 3, Ring Sing. because I can't deal with that ghost thing coming at me. I can't. When that ghost, like, I can't do it. I can't do it. There you go, guys. Shawshank Redemption. Yeah,
Good
fantastic
film.
film.
Good film.
Fantastic film. One of the best films ever made. JP are answers than me. Will Hunting, Shawshank Redemption, and The Usual Suspects.
My missus loves The Usual Suspects. She tried to get me to watch it, and I just couldn't get into it. Eyes Wide Shut, and that the Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman one, Stanley Kubrick. Is that Eyes Wide Shut?
I can't think, actually. Turner and Hooch.
Well, there you go.
Tom Hanks. I loved Tom Hanks. The Entity scared the crap out of me. I can't associate, mate. I will never ever watch a scary film, and I will never ever play a scary game. The scariest thing I've watched is West Ham under Avon Grant, actually. When the boys go in the basement in the lift. I've watched an interview with Whetstone.
Sean Whetstone, yeah.
Yeah, that's currently Hugh, isn't it? He explained that they can also deduct money they own. All sorts of that figures gets like.
I don't know if that's true. I don't think they can deduct money that's owed to themselves. I think they can only deduct money that's owed to outside. So say, and we haven't got any outside debt. I think they can only deduct money that's owed to banks. They can probably deduct money that's owed to other clubs though. So outstanding transfer fees and things like that. But I don't think they can deduct the money they owe to themselves.
Get it, guys. I watch them, but they make my heart race.
Seven's a great film.
Yeah, no, that is a good film.
That's
a fantastic film. I actually watched that the other day, actually. Film. I tell you what, one mate. Has a film made you cry?
All the time. Mate, The Lion King makes me cry.
Mate, I have to walk out the room for Lion King. Lion King's like, I just need to go to the toilet. As I get older as well, watching films from my childhood.
I know you get more emotional.
He set me off now as well.
Yeah.
Back to the Future, the music comes on and all these goosebumps come up me, and it's like, I can't handle it now. I can't watch this anymore. And I started watching. I know it's the most popular show on Netflix at the minute, Cobra Kai. One of the episodes, I think it's episode 5 of season 1, goes and visits. Oh, sorry.
Go on.
Season 1. Yeah, he goes and visits Miyagi's grave. It's really emotional. Like, it really got me. It's quite sad. Yeah, go on, mate. Yeah.
I ain't that far yet. I haven't seen that yet.
So episode 5. Anyone remember when the BBC did a live stream from the house of Poltergeist at Halloween? Turned out to be a prank, but they scared the bejesus out of everyone. There
was a few of them when we were kids. They did a few of them sort of live ghost hunting things. I remember.
Yeah. No, I'm alright, mate.
Yeah.
The Beatmasters 13 for 13. So I'll tell you what as well in terms of ghosts as well. Paul's dad used to do fireworks and stuff back in the day, and Paul's dad lives on the back of this huge field, Epping.
In Epping, yeah.
If any of you have seen like Silent Hill games or Resident Evil games or anything like that, they're like there's these empty parks with the swings going. Paul, and I think it was Scott at the time. Now, I swear to God, that is one of the most scared I've ever been in my life. And you start psychologically thinking you can hear chainsaw sounds and stuff like that. Right, I'm just going to quickly run through these because I know we've gone on for a long, long time now. Yes, lads, very good, mate. How's the ship? How's the boat? Hi, everyone. Instant Family. Yeah, that is an emotional film.
I haven't seen that one.
Wahlberg, true story as well. Question: White versus Perfecting remix. How does it go? I think White could be in trouble again. I think he bangs him early. I think he'll beat him early this time. I don't think he'll make the same mistakes. Bram Stoker's Dracula is my number 5. Watch an Italian film called Life is Beautiful. It's amazing.
Do you know what I watched the other day? I watched the other night. It's on Netflix as well. It was a Spanish film. And it was, what was it called? The Platform. It's called The Platform. Crazy.
That's weird film, that is.
Did you watch it?
I've seen it, yeah, I have. It's a weird film.
When they're in the prison and
it's
they're
dubbed, isn't it? It's dubbed. It's English.
Yeah, and the food goes down. It was subtitled. I watched it, and the food goes down. Man, crazy film. If you haven't seen it, it's Spanish really film, but yeah, The Platform.
Very Saw-like, isn't it? Very Saw, but a bit more vicious. Last thing, mate, because I can remember we did it last week and we haven't even mentioned it. So we did goalkeepers last week, very, very quickly, 5-minute section of it. So this week we're going to do left backs. So the best Premier League left backs we've seen, and that's the last thing we do because it'll be an hour show then. Left backs. So some of the best left backs you've seen, mate. Let's not mention the best one. Let's not mention the best one just because I reckon we're both the same.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
I reckon I think there's no arguments either in terms of it. Just throw out some obscure ones then. So I really liked Julian Dix has got to be in there. Matt Robertson, Andy Robertson. Where does he lie? He's a quality left back.
He's probably up there. Yeah, he's probably up there. But yeah, like you say, mate, Dixie, Stuart Pearce.
Yep, Stuart Pearce, fantastic. Owen was a left back for Manchester United, fantastic left back. I'm trying to go through that. It's really hard to go through when the obvious one is so obvious.
Yeah, it's not. I think left back's a position. I don't know. Like if you're thinking like proper great players, I don't know if there's that many like great players. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It'd be good to get in the comments. Well, Harita Ilunga, obviously.
Well, obviously.
Great comment, Noah. Yeah, obviously, Ilunga.
Yeah. I listen.
Pablo Armour
as well. Gareth Bale.
Oh, Gareth Bale. Do you know what though?
He started as a left back, didn't he?
Yeah, obviously started as a left back, and it's obviously laughing. But
I got one. Leighton Baines.
Great shout. Good shout. Yep. Really good shout.
Sweet left foot. Retired last year, didn't he? Yeah. Sorry, mate. I interrupted you on Bale there.
Yeah. No, it's just funny. Like obviously Gareth Bale, not as a left back, but you'd have to say one of the greatest Premier League players of all time when he was in the Premier League.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to think who was Chelsea's left back. Oh, it was. Well, it was
obviously, yeah. Ashley Cole, right? Yeah. Ashley Cole's clearly the best left back.
Without that, mate, the best left back that has ever played in Premier League. Andy Robertson's got a shout in a few years' time if he goes on and wins some more medals. But Ashley Cole, love him or hate him personally as a footballer, believable left back, fantastic defensively.
I had the argument with our mate Bowden actually about if you had to say the best left back in world football of our generation,
probably is him.
He's up there.
Or Maldini. Or Maldini.
Well, Maldini,
in our generation, he's more.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like sort of modern era. Maldini, one of the best footballers of all time, without a doubt. Played centre back as well.
So good chat there, guys in the chat.
Yeah, it's interesting. Roberto Carlos, you'd argue for, but as an out and out left back, I don't know.
Marcelo at Real Madrid.
Jordi Alba's better for me. Jordi Alba obviously won everything. For me, actually, I think I would say Jordi Alba probably is the best left back. Modern day left back.
At the moment, yeah.
Not even at the moment, just over the last decade. I think Jordi, he's won absolutely everything. Phenomenal club.
I can't think who Germany's left back was when they won it.
It was thingy, wasn't it? What's his name?
Right back, wasn't it?
Lahm. No, Lahm
right
was playing. No, yeah, but he played left back.
Well, he was playing left back.
He played left back when they won it. Yeah. What player as well?
Fantastic! What a servant. Who was Italy's left back? They won it. Zabrotta?
No, Zabrotta was right back.
Well, I don't know that one. I know, obviously, because I'm thinking through like World Cup winners in our lifetime. Obviously, France's one was Lizarazu, who was the fantastic left back as well. I don't know.
I need to look that up. Actually, I want to see who Italy's left back was.
We'll quickly look that up and then we'll wrap it up there. But yeah, I think left back, in terms of Premier League guys and you guys in the chat, don't think there's much argument. Ashley Cole, without a doubt, fantastic for England, fantastic for Chelsea, fantastic for Arsenal, and we're still playing for a long time. We will next week, guys. So next week, if you want to join us, we will be doing right backs next week. So, there we go. Apparently it's Grosso, mate. Fabio Grosso. Fabio Grosso. Thanks for Sheezy. Because obviously,
there you go. Yeah.
Fabio Grosso. Great shout. Good knowledge there. Yeah. Turan was right back. Craig, because he scored semi-final goal. He went like that, didn't he? Sorry, mate. I'm just going to last few questions. Oh, come on, seriously, is that even a question? Seriously,
is that a question or is that a statement? I mean, if you're saying that, but yeah, like if you're gonna put Maldini into that era, then there's no argument.
Maldini is the best.
He's the best defender of all time. He's the best defender of all time.
Yeah, and his teammate Franco Baresi, they're the best defenders ever. You know what I mean? Like Maldini is an absolute legend. It says, do you think there'll be new owners at some point? Craig, we did discuss that. If you want to go back, we did talk about that, but I'm just giving you a chance to have your question because obviously you're a new person and it's nice to see some new people. Liz Raza was great. Yeah, as you know, I'm a France fan. Stuart Pearce and Dennis Irwin. We will wrap it up. Yeah, guys, we've talked for a long time, but I've really enjoyed tonight's show. It didn't feel like we've been talking for that long. Thank you so much, guys. Listen, we've put it down now. Please hit that subscribe button. It's really, really close now, actually. I think it's about 50 away now, which is brilliant, which is fantastic. It's nice to see the channel still growing, because there is so many of us out there now, loads of channels now. Pardon me. I don't know what happened now. But yeah, we'll be back next week, probably on Wednesday, depending on when the cup game is. So whenever the cup game is, we'll do it the day after. So if the Leeds game is the Wednesday, we'll do it the Thursday. If it's Tuesday, we'll do it the Wednesday. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Really, really good show. Really good interaction from you guys. Until then, on your ones. I'll watch the PlayStation 5 thing if you're into gaming. That's coming on at 9 o'clock, I believe.
And watch
that. Definitely will be watching that. Last few comments here. Cheers for the show, guys.
Appreciate it, mate. And
what a great point that is there. Imagine having that Maldini, Baresi, and Costa as well. What blah. Afu as well at right back for them at one point. Thiago Silva coming through as Jesus Christ, what a team. What a team. Right, that's it, guys. Come on your minds. Keep believing. Hit that subscribe button, hit like button. Let's go.